This video is made for adult collectors because this is what happens when you buy a whole bunch of Lego sets at one time is your desk becomes an absolute mess. So like, before we get into Jazz, I actually cannot get this head back on. I released a short a few days ago of Maximum Series Deadpool where then the head came off and it wouldn't go back in. So I tried heating this up, I heated up the head and all that, and it won't go back in, so I have a headless Deadpool. I'm gonna have to contact Hasbro customer support for this one. I didn't want to, but I have to. This is so annoying. I was looking forward to this too. Anyways, Jazz. God, last time I looked at this was 4 years ago. Oh God, with the black construction paper desk thumbnail. No, nope. This needs its own video. So, Human Alliance Jazz. To me, this is the best figure movie Jazz has gotten. I've owned pretty much all of them, and while they're all very good, this one is just a standout to me. A, it's the only one I've kept consistently, and B, this one I've had the most fun with, and C, it's Hunt for the Decepticons, so I kind of need it. Before I go any further though, sponsor time. This video is brought to you by Treats. Treats is a snack subscription box that delivers delicious snacks once a month to your door from a different country. This time we got Peru again, but my family really likes that because of all the chocolates it comes with. As you can see, they ate everything before I was able to shoot this part. Fortunately, I was able to snag some shots when it arrived of the inside. My food allergies do omit me from trying these, but that doesn't stop my father. Does it taste like a margarita?
No.
Is it good though?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if you use code THATTOYGUY, you can save a few bucks off your first box. So you can definitely check them out. Links in the description below. Thank you for sending this my way. Now back to the actual toy. This is a Pontiac Solstice, a concept one that's a hard top because that didn't actually ever release fully, but it is a sick ass car. I miss Pontiac. It's a sick ass car though. Getting off topic there. One of my neighbors actually owns a silver one of this without the body kit on it, and it looks so nice. The only thing I don't like is the blue windows. Well, all two of them because one of them's broken on mine, but it's such a nice compact car mode. Everything fits together pretty solidly even after all these years. And it's entirely covered in silver paint. Yeah, it's a bit scratched, but like it looks so good. I also very much enjoy the silver trim around the rims and the clear headlights. The back is pretty well done too, but in desperate need of a license plate. It looks so barren back here, save for the red taillights. Being a Human Alliance figure, he has a full interior made of, well, feet, but there is a wheel and half a dashboard, but it does fit a Lennox. Oh no, that is not Josh Duhamel. Why he looks so squished. I also noticed part of his foot's missing just now. What the hell? But this man does fit in the driver's seat, if a bit difficult to get into place, and it gets better. Lennox's movie one bike that he steals and rides for 5 minutes to shoot Blackout in the peepee comes with this. It serves another purpose, and that's super cool because it becomes the gun, but like you can stick Lennox on it, I guess. But now the transformation is super unique. Is what I would say if this scheme hadn't been borrowed for some other Jazzes released recently, mainly the Studio Series one. But that's by no means a bad thing. It's good, so why get rid of it? Now, for people who might not have owned this or have seen this transform before, but have owned the Studio Series toy, there's going to be some familiarities because, whoa, the Studio Series one borrows a lot from this, which is kind of funny, I think, because I really like this Jazz and I thought the Studio Series one was okay, but like it borrows a lot from this. But before we do the car, we're gonna quickly do the bike because it does, you open this up, you bring this section out and you double hinge it down and it's his weapon, which is very cool. I've lost the missile. Jazz though. So start with, we are going to come back here and pull this section up, and it also tabs in on both sides of the fenders here. So you just spread them out to get those pegs out of the way, and then you shift the roof up like that. Then you come to the front here, you wanna open this panel up so that you can get your nails underneath here and lift this section. Then we're going to open the doors. I'm gonna have to push from this side, get the doors open and pull them out as far as they can go. Unpeg these little bits at the bottom here. So you bring that out and bend this down. And now he's, I don't know, wheelchair mode, I guess. So you unpeg the legs and then you bring them down. They just accordion down like that. Then you fold this section up on either side there, flip out the heel, and then stand him up. Now we want to come back here to his butt cheeks and spread them. Huh? Oh God, that's such a stupid joke. You bring them down like that, and then you rotate them to the front to make those like tail lights on the front of his legs thing. I like how they do that. Now for the top here, what we're going to do is bring it down, bring the arms out at the shoulder and bring them down. Then rotate this 180 degrees like that. Fold this panel under here, which is a little easier said than done, out. Then clip it into place, and that clips your torso in. Just straighten everything out. Rotate the arms down so that they're oriented properly. Then take this piece here. Then we're just going to get the head out, which is easier said than done. Ah, there we go. I got the head. Head's out. Woo. Now with the arms, the legs are making them crooked. We're going to rotate them 180 degrees, flip out the hands, and then fold the claws up. And normally you're supposed to fold this in, but I believe the previous owner snapped this off because this is super stiff on this side. So I'll show you on this side. You bring the hand out, fold that open, and then this curls up and over like that. Now you can have the arms flat like this if you want. He still has elbows, but they only bend that far. Or you can have them rotated like this and the elbows bend all the way, but the arms are really skinny from the front. I prefer the arms really skinny from the front versus the flat way, but you can do either or. Then for the chest, you want to bring these collar pieces out on both sides so that they're angled like this. You bring this section out, rotate it, it's on a spring. Then you fold this up to make the Angry Birds pig face on his chest. But there you go. And that's Jazz. That's a really nifty looking robot mode. Proportionally, it is off, but I kind of like it. Like I said earlier, I really like how it uses the rear of the car to form the thighs with like the taillight sections actually swinging around instead of being fake bits. Again, fake bits don't bug me, but like it's really cool seeing how that works, though it does hinder something else later on, and we'll talk about that. He's a quite tall and lanky fellow. Jazz in the film was the shortest, and even with this being a Human Alliance size class, he's still a bit big for that. He's taller than a lot of other Human Alliance toys, but he is dense, very dense, and solid. Nothing wants to move, nothing's loose, and it still holds up all these years later. The back could be cleaner, and the spoiler is on the wrong side, but they fake parted it at the top with the cannon thing to kind of simulate it. It's a little too flat though. Going back to the arms, they are quite thin. It's just all door and window because of how this folds up, and there's no real shape to them. Doesn't really bug me that much, but I know it is going to bother some people, so it is worth pointing out. I very much like the articulated collar parts up here and the shape of the chest making the headlights upside down. Head sculpt is great. I'm glad the eyes are like painted around that gold, like they got that, and the sculpting's great. However, it looks a little strange to me personally until you flip the lever on the back and then bam, visor. I love that. The man who clearly isn't Lennox can still interact with this guy. There is a seat on his shoulder and the spoiler folds out into a cannon so you can plug him in and now he's like a shoulder man. And the bike, as I said, it does transform into his shield gun, though this is the only part that's loose, so mine droops every once in a while. It fires a missile and like I said, I've lost it. So for being a Human Alliance figure, this guy's posing is actually quite wild. My chair is making so much noise. I need to replace this thing. There are still some it's old and articulation was not the focus things about this figure. So the head can do a full 360 and it can look up given the little hinge there. But once he looks up, he can only rotate like that far left and right. The mask can move. And then these are on ball joints. They can go literally wherever you want. If you want the chest to lay flat, you can have it laying flat, or you can have it up like that. The shoulders, they can do a full 360. They are trigger happy shoulders. They're stuck. There we go. They're trigger happy shoulders, so they go They are trigger happy shoulders, so they go out about that far. There is a bicep rotation as well as that elbow that bends this far. However, if you want the arms to lay flat like this, the elbow only bends that far. But you do have both options, and it is kind of nice having that joint there because you can then sort of do stuff like this, right? And then that kind of gets his arm forward around his chest a little bit more naturally. You do have a wrist swivel. The wrist can hinge in and out, and the claws can like fold, so finger articulation, I guess. There is nothing at the waist due to how this entire thing is held together. The hips can go forward that far with the panels there, but if you rotate the panels out of the way, they can go forward that far. They can only go back about that far because then they hit the butt flap. You do have outward motion at the hip, and the way that it's designed here is it rotates not here, but like up here to allow to get a full split without the sculpt bumping into anything. There is no thigh rotation. So you have this joint here for like reasons, I guess. So he can look like that if you want him to, but there is no thigh rotation. It's below the knee, unfortunately. And that's just because, like, where would you fit a thigh rotation? Because you got this hinge up here, which blocks that spot. And then you have this hinge here for transformation. And then you have this, which if they got rid of this, they could probably have fitted in, but then like this kind of helps with the articulation a little bit with getting the legs into more natural looking poses because of how bulky these are. So like, I don't know where they would have put a thigh rotation, so it's down here, unfortunately. He does have a little bit over 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and then I use this sometimes when I want to get him like really low, and then there's no ankle tilt, because this becomes a seat. He is pretty poseable, but also not at the same time. Like there are some things that will bump the camera, but the rest of it is quite nice and you can still get him to looking really cool. I am very glad this thing exists. While I want the Masterpiece one again because it looks fantastic, I have way more fun with this figure. It's super cool and does a lot, feels great, looks great. I'd recommend it if you can find it for a decent price. I've been seeing this thing going down in price since I got mine, so it shouldn't be too hard to get for less than like 50 bucks. But that's my look at Human Alliance Jazz. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.